Good evening, everyone. Mike Palmer from Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International with another important live video update tonight. So to begin with tonight, I just want to address some very interesting changes that we've seen happening already this year. Now, I mentioned at the start of last year that the powers that be were going to try many different things to try and discredit us and shut us down. And as any long-term viewers of these videos would be well aware, every month or so last year I mentioned the latest tactics, the latest media articles, and of course those wonderful hacking attempts that were of course all designed to do exactly that. Now, I am unfortunately sure that that is primarily going to continue again this year to some degree, but it seems like they're actually trying a slightly different tack now, and that of course is along the lines of, if you can't beat them, join them. So the first article that I want to cover tonight sounds strangely similar to exactly what the Aussie speeding fines guys have been promoting for over 16 years now, and of course what we've been saying at every single one of our live events for over 9 years. Stop punishing innocent motorists for the wrongdoing of just a few, and how about, as crazy as it sounds, actually encouraging or rewarding drivers for doing the right thing or whatever it is that the governments want them to actually do. So I urge you all, especially if you're in New South Wales, but no matter what state or territory you're in, to please make sure you look up this article. So it is entitled, "Safe Drivers Will Soon Have 1 Demerit Point Erased." More than 1 million drivers will have a demerit point wiped from their licences on the 17th of January 2024, provided they have not committed a traffic offence for the last year leading up to that date. The removal of 1 demerit point from the driving record for safe drivers is part of a trial announced by the New South Wales State Government last year. To be eligible, drivers have been required to not commit a traffic offence in the period from 17 January 2023 through to the same date this year. And then there's the subheading, "Encouraging Safe Driving." The trial is intended to encourage safer driving. For years, the demerit point system has been in place to punish poor driving, and the government hopes that by turning the philosophy around to reward good drivers instead, it may have a positive effect, resulting in less accidents on our roads. You think? As I said, we've only been saying this for over 9 years now. The ASF guys have been saying it for 16 years now. So lo and behold, it seems like some people are finally starting to get the message. I guess better late than never. Now, if we could just get all of the various state and territory governments on board and get them all to implement it. To you, the people watching this, you're the ones that need to write to your members of parliament, print off articles like that with those initiatives, send them to your members of parliament and say, hey, can we please implement this here in our state or our territory? And that's how you can bring it about too. Now, unfortunately, it's not all good news though. It does seem like we are getting so much interest and so much support from our members that certain people who are clearly only interested in scamming people have actually copied our Facebook page and set up their own fake copy of that page in some kind of desperate attempt to try and deceive people into joining that group instead of our real group. So please make sure that you and everyone you know is aware of the differences between our real group and this new scam group. So I'm going to show you here, just so you can get a quick idea, okay? This is our real Facebook group. You'll notice the 138,000 followers there, okay? And the other key is up on the address bar, which clearly says that it's the Know Your Rights group. Now, this is the fake group. As you can see, only 1 like and 1 follower. You'll also see up the address bar there, it's just a strange hodgepodge of different numbers. Okay, so there's a couple of key points to look out for between those different groups. Now, again, Ours has the 138,000 members. Theirs has only the one. Ours has many, many different posts. The fake group has a lot of the same congratulations, you've been chosen type posts, and they've all got exactly the same format, so it's very easy to tell that apart. Our Facebook group's obviously got hundreds and hundreds of videos. Theirs doesn't have any, so there's a lot of key distinctions, so please be aware of that fake group. And of course, it does once again point out how absolutely desperate these people are to try and move followers away from us, because they're obviously concerned about the degree of truth. Please spread this video around far and wide. Spread the link to our Facebook group around to as many different social media channels and platforms as you can to ensure that people do join up with the correct group. Now, speaking of spreading the truth, we spoke a little bit about the push towards EVs, obviously electric vehicles last year, and of course how that was part of the overall digital ID agenda and was yet another way to try and control people and turn off their ability to, basically operate in the world if they did something that the good old powers that be didn't quite agree with. Well, it seems like, once again, given the passage of time, the truth about EVs has, of course, slowly but surely been starting to come out. And there was a very, very powerful article that came out just last week, which paints what I think is really a very, very clear picture. And that's the story of the Herz rental car company that is offloading 20,000 electric vehicles, and of course replacing them with normal petrol-powered cars. So again, if you missed that article, that's the article there that you want to look up. If you know anyone that might be considering buying an electric vehicle, you might want to direct them to that article. So it's entitled Herz selling 20,000 EVs switching back to gas-powered cars. Now this, of course, article's out of the US. Rental agency Herz is offloading 20,000 electric vehicles after falling short of a goal to have more than 20% of its rental fleet made up of EVs by 2022. The company ordered 100,000 EVs from Tesla, 65,000 from Polestar, and up to 175,000 from General Motors to reach the 2022 goal. But it never got all the cars, in part because Tesla wasn't able to fulfill the order. By October 2023, the Hertz fleet only had around 50,000 EVs. Now the company is selling 20,000 of those at a steep discount. Hertz cited EV price cuts, especially from Tesla, during 2023 that increased depreciation on the vehicles and reduced the amount of money they would be able to salvage, along with higher repair costs for EVs compared to traditional cars. Again, something we've been pointing out for years now. As for Hertz, the company is planning to purchase more gasoline-powered cars to replace the EVs eliminated from the fleet. So, again, it's spelt out very, very clearly there. I'm sure many of you over the past few weeks have also seen the various different posts on social media showing the lines of electric vehicles that are stranded in the snowy and cold conditions in both the US and Europe, because of course, those cold and icy conditions do significantly affect the batteries on those EVs. Now, again, we've been saying this since the push for people to get into EVs started. We've been warning people about these downsides, and of course, all the stuff that the media wasn't really talking about. So, as always, I'll leave it up to you guys to decide whether those electric vehicles really are the best option for you and your family. Now, one of the other things that we were speaking about quite a lot last year, and again, no doubt we'll be speaking about a lot again this year, is this ongoing push towards a cashless society. Now, if you still don't think that there's an actual agenda at play here, have a listen to this completely one-sided nonsense of an article that's being spouted now in relation to Coles supermarkets this week. So this one's been doing the rounds on social media. Again, that's the article there. It's entitled, Coles shoppers walk out over cash-only checkout fail. Coles customers chose to walk out of the supermarket and instead opt for a cashless alternative instead of withdrawing money when there was an outage that made cash transactions impossible. Well, again, the first question that everyone should be asking is why again is a major supermarket like Coles having an outage that they can't accept cards? Something that we've been warning people about for years. Shoppers at Coles Westfield Bondi Junction supermarket in Sydney's eastern suburbs were met with a hand-scrawled sign on Thursday that read "Cash only, sorry for any inconvenience." Well, it'd be no inconvenience to me, I can tell you that. With self-service checkouts dominating most of the supermarket giant stores, many shoppers who were on their phones or listening to music were surprised by the forced human interaction. On top of that, the idea that credit cards weren't being accepted due to an outage was too much for most, who just walked away despite there being an ATM just metres away. Now, it goes on with a little bit of more rubbish and crap here and there, but then listen to this. I mean, this is the stuff that the media love to twist and spin. Holden wasn't surprised shoppers weren't keen on using the ATM since doing so could attract fees. What do you think happens every time you tap and go your card? That's right, you attract fees. So that's a complete load of rubbish. He recalled the frustration, Mr. Holden, of having to withdraw hundreds of dollars from a bank and carrying it around for a week. Oh, the frustration of carrying one or two notes around for a week must have been just too much to handle. Jesus. Each subsequent purchase would create smaller denominations of notes as well as heavy loose change. Oh, my Lord, the pain, the devastation. I mean, imagine having small notes and some loose change in your wallet or your purse or your pocket, heaven forbid. I mean, this is the rubbish that they print in the media. Cards are also better for stores because they don't have to deal with the cash handling nonsense. Really? The thing that they've been doing for the last 40, 50 years. Handling cash, counting cash, putting it in the till as normal all day, every day. What businesses have done for ever and a day. And it's obviously faster. Well, not if you actually work out roughly in your head what it's going to cost and have the cash ready. Okay, not difficult to do. People can just tap rather than spend time counting out money, he said. Oh, so convenient. There are groups arguing cash should never be phased out, and a recent poll of Yahoo Finance readers found 92% did not support Australia going cashless. Now that is an important figure for people to focus in on. 92% of Australians did not support Australia going cashless. The cost of using cash has been a motivator for some businesses. Again, where has the cost of cash increased significantly over the last 5 years or so, over the last 50 years that people have been using cash all day, every day? Why is keeping cash all of a sudden so expensive? While others have said that they're trying to protect staff who've been at risk of robberies. Because again, no one was ever robbed in a store, 20, 30, 40 years ago, ever. I mean, it's just brand new. I mean, what a load of crap. Problems yesterday were localised. The Australia-wide outage experienced by Optus in November meant large numbers of businesses led to warnings that the country would be doomed if it became cashless. And that it most assuredly would. And that is what we need to stop from happening. Now, what's most interesting about that article, if you go online and actually read it, is there's actually a poll where you can answer a series of questions right smack bang in the middle of that article. And as of the time of preparing for the notes for tonight's video, there were almost 4,300 people who'd responded to that poll. Now, here are the interesting statistics. 56% of people, so that's over half the people who responded, said they always have cash. Another 19% of people said that they would simply withdraw cash if there was an ATM nearby, leaving only a very, very minor 25% of people saying that they would go elsewhere if cashless payments weren't available. So these figures are very, very important because once again we see the actual facts completely contradict what is written by the author. Once again, blatant cashless propaganda. So please be sure that you access that article yourselves and add your votes to that poll to make it clear to the author that most people actually use cash now and send them a loud and clear message. Now, as always, in line with that point, I do urge you to use cash whenever and wherever possible, and please make sure you add your signature petition, which of course is to legislate a formal cash and banking guarantee in this country. That should be popping up in the comment section. Make sure, of course, you join our Call Out Cashless Businesses Facebook. Again, you can just look it up on Facebook, or again, there should be a post going up in the comments. And again, let's continue to name and shame those businesses that refuse to accept cash and are either unaware of the overall cashless agenda, or worse still, are somehow supporting it. And don't forget, of course, that sister group, the Cash is King discussion group. Again, you'll find it on Facebook, or again, there should be a link in the comment section. And let's share these ideas around as far and as wide as we can. And let's make sure people understand what this cashless push is really all about, and of course the dangers of it. Now, speaking of cash and money, the last thing that I want to cover tonight is the very special 25% off New Year promotion that the Bank Secrets Revealed guys are running on all of their hard copy ebook memberships. Now, I did mention this on Tuesday night's radio show, but in case anyone's missed it, a lot of people gave their credit cards quite a workout over the Christmas New Year period. So to help people kickstart 2024 in the right way, eliminate some of that stress that a lot of people are feeling now with their overhanging credit card debts and personal loan debts, the BSR guys have decided to run that special 25% off promotion. And of course, that is on all of their hard copy ebook memberships. Again, you'll find a link in the description, and you'll also find a link in the comment section of this video. So please make sure you grab that book if you don't already have it. So to finish off, as I always do, I'm going to go through some of the latest testimonials from some of our members, and of course some more great memes just to get people thinking about what's going on. So the first one here is from Jerry. It's been sent through to the Aussie Speeding Fines guys and to us as well. Copied in, greetings at Know Your Rights. I'm very happy to report that Fines Victoria withdrew my speeding fine of $385 after purchasing your book and CDs. The letter sent to them certainly bamboozled the admin staff at Fines Victoria. They couldn't get their head around the legalities. Thanks again for your assistance, Jerry. So once again, that refers to that tried, tested and proven 3-step process for challenging all unjust and unlawful fines that you can find in that Aussie Speeding Fines book. Again, you'll find a link in the description and also in the comment section of the video. Now, this is one from Pete, who was sent through to the Bank Secrets Revealed guys. It's a little bit broken English. G'day, Bank Secrets Revealed. Well, I had these loans from a bank starting with W, I think we all know who that is, then gave to a credit provider to harass me. This started in 2006. As I left the country, returned in 2020. Well, I paid a minimum as possible as had hard times, but knew the speeding fines thing before. So in 2022 July, I started the step-by-step process, even with a few emails back and forth with their tactics. You guys assured me to keep to the process. Well, I did all the steps, and on the last step, they actually said, we know you're getting this off the web. Well, not really. I paid for information like getting a lawyer. Anyhow, after one thing, third of the fourth step, they kept saying, send correct info. I've waited almost a year now, and I feel confident they've cleared me from their system. Thanks for all of what you do for the average Joe who gets ripped off all the time, just trying to work and have a life. Blessings from Pete. So again, that refers to that tried, tested and proven 4-step process for discharging those unsecured loans, your personal loans, your credit card debts, things like that, which is in that Bank Secrets Revealed book. All right, so let's have a look at some memes. Well, again, anyone down the East Coast will be able to well and truly relate to this. Global warming must be working. We've had the wettest and probably the coldest January on record. So much for the good old global warming agenda that they like to talk about. Now, again, this one's about the good old jabs, and again, I'm sure most of you watching this are well aware of it, but I'll go through it again. 3 or 4 people give a restaurant a bad Yelp review, and you won't eat there. Tens of thousands of people say the jab made them sicker or killed a relative, and not only do you go back for more, but you bring your kids. What is that about? It makes no sense. Ah, yes. I'm sure I'm going to upset a few people, but too bad, so sad. As it says, Mum, what's a left-winger? A mentally challenged person who lacks critical thinking, thrives on fear-mongering, and gets duped very easily into believing any controversial thing without any evidence. Dear, isn't that nice? And the final one, my printer hasn't been working very nicely today, so I will read it out in case it's a little bit difficult to see. But again, this is what this is all about, and people need to keep in mind. A cashless society means zero cash. Everything will be recorded. Every transaction will be tracked. It's all about control. But most people will only care, of course, when it's too late. So please, let's not allow that to happen. Let's keep pushing back, especially against that cashless agenda at every single possible opportunity. All right, I am going to leave things there for tonight. As always, I do urge you to make use of all of the various resources, all of the completely free information on our website, all of these free videos and everything else that is available to you to please get informed, get fired up and get proactive. We need that again this year, probably even more than last. Now, of course, the best way to do that is through all the free information, as I said, on the websites. These videos are completely free to watch. They're on our BitChute channel, on our YouTube channel, and of course on the videos tab on our Facebook page. Our radio show, again, completely free to listen to every Tuesday night between 8 and 10 p.m. Again, you should find a link going up in the comment section. Otherwise, just go to our website, click on the radio show tab, and click on the big black listen live button at 8 p.m. on Tuesday. Yes, we have done some updates, we have done some upgrades, and other than a tiny little glitch at the start of last week's show, everything is working smoothly again, including TuneIn. I know there were some challenges with listening to the show live last year, but that has all been fixed. So do make sure you tune in again this Tuesday as we have another important show lined up for everybody. Of course, if you want to join up as a podcast member to listen to any of our past shows, that's all 9.5 years worth of them. Remember, it costs less than $5 a week to join up as a podcast member. If you want to go above and beyond that, we do, of course, recommend our Know Your Rights book, the essential step-by-step manual for understanding and exercising your rights. Of course, that Aussie speeding fines book, as I mentioned before, for successfully challenging all unjust and unlawful fines. And of course, that Bank Secrets Revealed book. I know a lot of people are struggling financially now. They do have their promotion on, so now is the absolute best time to get that book if you haven't already got it. You can get these all individually. Again, there's links in the description. You can, of course, get all three together as part of the combo pack. You do get that bonus Know Your Rights tote bag included completely free of charge as a little extra bonus. Don't forget, we do still have the Know Your Rights caps, and now and again on the East Coast. So grab one of those if you don't already have it. People notice the logo. Great way to meet like-minded people. They come up, have a chat to you. And of course, don't forget that incredible home study course. It's a complete recording of one of our 2.5-day live events. It's on 17 DVDs. There's a CD with all of the documents that we use ourselves there. 3 custom-made workbooks with sections there to write notes next to every single slide from every single presentation. You can pause, rewind, fast forward in the comfort of your own home. It's a resource that you'll come back to again and again and again over the years. Again, you'll find a link in the description and in the comments. So I'm going to leave things there. We will be back again next Sunday night with our next live video. Otherwise, I'll chat to you all on Tuesday night on our radio show. Until then, take care.